everybody, welcome back to another video, the T on NPD and relationships. Hello everyone, to all of my new subscribers and new family members. Hello, hi, welcome, and to my tribe and family at large, welcome back. Thank you all so much for coming back and of course watching another video. Fam, you know I'm loving to always plug that Thursday night live stream. This is where we get into the meat of the matter, the crux of the conversation. Listen, you don't want to miss that. All right, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'd love to personally invite you to our Thursday night live stream. Listen, make sure you turn your notification bells on. If you are on the YouTube and Facebook platforms, please turn your notification bells on so you know when we go live on the channel and also when we drop a video. Also, I want to Listen, holla. I want y'all to holla at your girl. Y'all, hit that like button, I need y'all to hit that like button. Can y'all do that for me? Can you please? Thank you so very much. I'd love for y'all to hit that like button for me. Listen, make sure before you leave the video, hit that like button. All right. If you're rocks with your girl. Thank you so much. The goal of the day is 2.1K plus on the likes. If you're rocks with your girl, y'all hit that like button. If you are in need of a life coach, I am accepting new coaching clients at this time. So I'd love to be your coach if you are in need of a coach at this time to help you through this leg of your healing journey. Last but certainly not least, want you to know that I am plugging the book Seduced by Satan. It is pinned in the description below. Also, my email for life coaching services is also pinned in the description below this video. The T on NPD coaching at gmail.com. Email me there and I can get back with you. Okay. And the link to Seduced by Satan is also pinned in the description below. I would love for you to pick up a copy of this book. It is a page turner. It is a jaw dropper. It is a showstopper. Listen, it is based on a true story. You will thank me later. Yours truly is going in on every single chapter on these birds. Okay. So get yours today. Grab a copy for yourself and someone else. All right. And also not only that, but recommend it to your book clubs. All right. Thank you so much. All right, y'all, let's jump into the topic of this video. I want to get right to it. People do want to know. Okay. It's a question out there that people want to understand. How long, what is it that the narcissist is doing during this no contact period? Yeah. How long does it take for no contact to have impact on the narcissist? That's a good question. That's a very, very good question. We're going to answer that question. How long does, let me be more specific, your no contact, how long does it take for your contact to have impact on the narcissist? And we want to be specific because y'all know what I tell you, all supply is not created equal. Okay, it is the truth. All supply is not created equal. So want to discuss this because some people think that, just walking away from the narcissist, giving them a little bit of shutdown time to kind of just get it together, figure out what they're going to do, and to see if they're really serious about straightening up, or are they going to continue with the nonsense? Well, let's see. We're going to talk about that. And I want you all to know because it's important that we understand exactly what we're dealing with when it comes to a narcissist and when it comes to the impact of no contact. When you are that primary supply and you have been with a narcissist for quite some time, not like a secondary supply or the forever supply that they value, but they don't value. They value them in the sense of they want them around, but not enough to put them in first place. Does that make sense? Not enough to put them in first place. The only time that they're really going to get that first place status is if they don't actually have primary supply that they can pull on at that moment. But I think you all should know that when it comes to um, a narcissist feeling the impact of your no contact, it just depends on how you do it. It depends on how you do it. If you are one of those that will basically implement like the silent treatment, or you are, I'm just not going to talk to you for a week or two, and then I'm going to see what that does. And some people actually call that no contact. So we'll talk about different aspects of it, because that's not really no contact. It's kind of like you're just going silent for a while. And the narcissist, really, when you do things like that, it just makes them more angry. It does. It makes them want to punish you more. If you really want to know the truth, it's really not going to have impact. It's going to actually have the reverse effect. They're going to do you so dirty when you come back that now they're going to put you on no contact, and then you're going to be the one running. Does that make sense? So yeah. So how long does it take for your impact of what? Well, let's just put it like this. How long does it take for your no contact to have impact on a narcissist? How long does that take? Again, let me say this again, because I want to reiterate the fact that if you think that you can just kind of like go silent on the narcissist for, a week or two, just like I mentioned earlier, I want to say this again because it's really important. Some people think that that's no contact. It's not no contact. That's really, you're just going silent on them, and you're just kind of just trying to teach them a lesson. But again, let me say this again, that really doesn't help the situation. It kind of like ticks them off, and it just makes them mad. So when you do come back, they're going to hit you with something real cold and smooth. And when they do, what they're going to do is they're going to cause you now to be in the inferior position. And now you're going to be running after them, and they're going to put you on no contact. You understand what I'm saying? By discarding you and playing in your face. So how do you prevent that from happening? Because people have done that. And the narcissist has like, yeah, so since you decided that you wanted to play around with this whole no contact thing, you didn't know how to do it like a boss. You weren't real serious about it, or maybe you just didn't have the strength to keep it up for a long period of time. And what you really did was you just ticked me off. Yeah, just really made me mad. And so when I get back, I'm going to just really do some really wicked, evil things. And that's how narcissists think, to be honest. That's how they think, to be honest with you. They think about, okay, if that's the way you're going to do it, then this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to show you better than I can tell you what I'm capable of. And a lot of times when you see a narcissist do something like this, after you go silent for a week or two, and then you decide to reopen the lines, you notice that when you do contact them and have a conversation and agree to meet with them or whatever, usually immediately after that is when they actually hit you with the silent treatment, because narcissists are always looking for listen, they are always looking, they are so vindictive. They're looking for opportunities to vindicate themselves. So you don't want to ever try that with somebody like a narcissist, because a narcissist has no bottom. You don't even understand the type of wickedness that's rolling around in their minds. You couldn't even fathom it. And so because of that, you don't want to play around with somebody like that. You don't even want it to be a question. You don't want to think about it. I'm going to tell you something. You just really want to not do that. Just not do that, because it's not going to be it's not going to work out well for you. But For those of you that really, honestly want to understand how long it takes for your no contact to impact the narcissist, this is what you have to do. If you are a person that didn't play around with it, because you can't play with it. When you do no contact like a boss, you can't play with it. You got to really put them on no contact. I mean, blocking them on your phone, not returning phone calls, not returning text messages, making sure they're blocked on your email, they're blocked on your socials. Like they don't have any contact with you whatsoever. Okay? You got to make sure that you ain't playing the radio with them. Period. Okay? Because once they feel or sense that you're becoming weak, they're going to play into that. Okay? So if you doing it like this and your primary supply, if the narcissist has a new supply, okay, you got to give it time. You got to give it time. The narcissist, if they have a new supply, your no contact is not going to be felt immediately. Okay. It's not going to be immediate. And when I say immediate, I'm talking about physically, because physically their need is still being met in that situation with the new supply. Okay. Mentally, it is going to start to affect them when you shut them down. You cut off all access. Okay. It's going to start messing with them a little bit mentally, okay? But where you want is for the mental and the emotional to collide, the mental and the physical to collide. That's when you get the impact, okay? And for that to happen, even though they're thinking about talking or trying to get back to you, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to do that, because they still have to fill out the space in the waters with the new supply. Okay. Now, here's when you are going to see the change. And this is when it's going to really start to impact them, is when after about 4 to 6 weeks, you still haven't opened that gate for them to come back and have conversation. They've been having people call you. They've tried to show up in some places where you were. They've tried to have conversation. They've reached out. They've even tried to call you from burner numbers. You're not answering. They did no caller ID. You're not answering. Like you are doing this thing like a boss. For real. Okay. At this point, at about 6 weeks, give it about 8, anywhere from, sometimes they can start to buckle at 4, but usually between that time frame of 6 on the short end, 12 on the long end, that clown gonna start really feeling the effects of not being able to contact you. Okay. Not being able to have you in that space anymore, where they're able to monkey branch from you to the new supply. Because remember, for probably about a good hot, maybe 2 to 3 weeks before they discarded you, they were going back and forth between you and the new supply, which this is when they literally start playing in your face. They start really just acting up, just acting like they are just really disrespectful when you're going through that whole devaluation. And some of y'all went in the phone and y'all found out what was going on, because you're like, this clown is just really being disrespectful. And you found out why they were being so disrespectful. But baby, let me tell you something. When you hit right at about anywhere between that I'm gonna give it right at that 6 to 12 week mark, they what's that song? My heart is yearning for, well, I ain't gonna say love, touch. That right there, but it's not even a love thing. It's literally the fact that they just want to know what's going on. They want access back into your life. Because what has happened now is that they figured out that the new supply and not having you and the new supply is definitely not working. They're not getting the impact from the fuel that they were getting with both of you around. And not only that, they found out that the new supply is no comparison to you. So this is when they start to feel that thing. And this is when they begin to get desperate. Okay, they become desperate. This is where you can actually see them going through that thing, especially when you won't let up on that no contact and you are just like, nah, this is what I'm doing. And this is a permanent thing. When you won't let up and you still won't give them any access, period, whatsoever, then what's going to happen is at that point, this is a place where they can actually, they'll have the new supply, but if they can't still get back to you and that new supply is not sufficient, it could cause them to start to destabilize. But they're definitely going to be watching and stalking your social media like a hawk. They're going to try to show up in places where you are because they don't understand why it is that you've shut them out like that. Yeah, not the fact that you've just been totally disrespectful to me. You've been playing in my face with this other individual, just being completely like a you know what to them. I mean, to you. I mean, they don't even think that what they're doing is just that bad. I mean, because they are just that horrible that they think that what they're doing is not really that bad. Isn't that crazy? But I'm going to tell you, fam, this is what happens. All right. So I want y'all to really take this information in. All right. And be good to yourselves. That once you're gone, don't ever go back. Once you start that no contact, don't ever go back from that. This is where you have to stay. Do it like a boss. Make them feel it. All right. So I will see you all on the next video, fam. And I will see you all healed and whole at the top. Love you, family. Shalom. Peace.